Hello and welcome back to Exterminate, a Doctor Who podcast. And today we have
Phil from the Who's He podcast.
also known as my dad. And today we'll be reviewing Space Babies and the Devil's Chord, which aired on Saturday evening, or you might have watched them Friday night. They technically aired Friday night, very early Saturday morning.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Disney Plus or the iPlayer in the UK. Yes.
So let's get into the review of the first part of this podcast episode, Space Babies.
It was fun in places, but it was very, very silly.
Yes, it very was.
Very silly. I mean, you had like monsters made out of snot, and then you had a space station propelled through space by poo, basically. Yeah, methane, big poonami.
So people are giving this story quite a bit of hate, saying it's one of the weakest series openers. What do you think about that?
Well, they might have a point actually, because I think this is meant to be a jumping off point for people who've never seen Doctor Who before. So there was a lot of stuff already covered if you've watched Doctor Who previously. So it was like a retread of Rose and the End of the World, actually, to a certain degree, with the Doctor zapping Ruby's mobile phone, so she could talk to her mum in the past, which had already been done with Rose and her mum. Even to the point where it's sort of like Ruby sees space for the first time. That's exactly the same as how Rose sees it. So it's almost like RTD going through the motions again. Yeah. But I think, which is fair enough, because it's meant to be for like new viewers, and you get this little potted history of what the Doctor is and where he's come from and all that, which again we all know.
Apart from new viewers, so this is really just to introduce new viewers. This episode, in a way.
But even though you had the Christmas special, which introduced new. Anyway,
if you haven't watched that, this is a good starting on point.
Yeah, exactly.
Again.
But I think the problem is that if you're a fan, you've already seen it before, so you're probably thinking, and I was thinking, this has already been done, and I think that I don't think the story was that good. I was thinking if I was a new viewer to Doctor Who, I think I like the actors. I think Ncuti was really, really good.
You're energetic.
I think Millie Gibson's really, really good as well, and I think the pair of them together are excellent. But I think the story itself was utter nonsense, really.
So since we didn't do a review on the Church on Ruby Road, what did you think of Ruby's character? To me, she's a lot like Amy Pond in some ways.
Well, it's another. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's all been done, hasn't it? Because it's another character that there's always a mystery surrounding them, and like the universe seems to revolve around them, and they're going to have some probably something to do with the Doctor's past or his future, or I don't know.
It also introduced like the snow sort of thing that will probably end up as the series. It's also in the next episode, but the snow that falls down.
Yeah, well, it's all like as he said, her memories were coming to life or something, or one of her memories coming to life. I really don't know. Again, it's all this. Why couldn't you just have an ordinary person? Why is it always got to be? There's meant to. Ross T. Davis always said that the person the Doctor travels with has always got to be from Earth, because you're watching it through or experiencing it through their eyes. But then we're not, because there's something special all the time.
Good old Martha Jones.
Yeah, actually, that Martha was the only one who wasn't really. She had nothing. Only thing she did was
Rory in a way, but they kept killing him off, and it wasn't his
fault.
fault.
Rory and Amy were all to do with the Doctor's future and River's Song and all that.
Bill.
Rose wasn't to begin with. Bill wasn't.
Bill definitely didn't.
But Clara, we've had that with Clara. We've had it now with Rose with the bad wolf. It didn't start out like that, but she's meant to be part of Doctor's future as well. Yeah, so I just think it's getting a bit tired for me now. Actually,
what would you like to see from a companion? You know,
just be normal.
Yeah.
And do see it through our eyes. That's fine. I don't mind that.
So a normal.
But they don't have to have this story where they're interwoven with the you know, they've got to be something to do with the universe or something. Just let them be an ordinary person. You know.
So like an ordinary person from Earth that's brave, can hold up on their own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the other thing as well is the fact that you've got a fantasy element to it now. That RTD said it's going to be more fantasy.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that. It can open up, but as long as it's done right. So this is definitely more fantasy, certainly. I think the other thing about Space Babies, you had the talking babies, which was all right, but the effects on the mouth, the amount of times they've done it throughout the years trying to get babies to talk as part of special effects, it's never looked good. This doesn't look good, so just stop doing it. Really.
I mean, it worked in a way.
It worked.
It worked. It's not the best.
But I think the babies were interesting. I quite liked it, but I can't remember. I don't think it was ever explained why they're speaking with more grown-up voices.
It was because actually they didn't age. They stayed as babies with a baby's mind, but they grew up.
But how?
That's not explained, but
exactly. That's what I mean. How? Why is it? It's
in
just
the same room for years.
Yeah, and why the nanny hid herself away? She said because she didn't want to see them die, and she want them to see her die. But it just seemed a bit of a weak excuse for her just to hide away like that. To be honest, but
in some way,
but it was. I mean, it was, as I said, it was fun in places. I think that the bogey man was a little bit of a.
But it was a good design. I liked
good design. I quite, it was quite all right. But what happened to it in the end? It just stayed in the hold. Were they just going to leave it there? When they got to this refugee planet, what were they going to give the bogeyman a refugee status as well? I really don't. I don't understand what was going to happen there, really, because it was designed to scare people. That's why the Doctor was scared of it, because it was made to scare.
It's a nursery.
So what's it going to do? Scare the people on the refugee planet? They're just going to kill it. So or run away from it. So I don't know. It's just I just felt it was a bit of a weak story.
Yeah, I think it holds up well, in some ways, and it starts off the series arc as well, so you kind of have to give it to it because it starts with the snow arc.
I was just thinking though, if I was a brand new viewer to Doctor Who and I watched that, I won't be tuning in again next week. If
you're seeing this on Disney Plus, this actually says it's episode 2 because they're counting Church and Ruby Road as
episode
its own
1.
episode.
Yeah.
So, that will be. But yeah, does that mean they'll be counting the Christmas special as series 2?
Not over here.
No.
I don't not over here. I don't know exactly.
Eventually.
But I don't like being down on Doctor Who because it's my favourite show. But
you still love it.
I still love it. But yeah, it's. I mean, the good things about it. So Ncuti Gatwa and the Millie Gibson, they were great, and it looked nice as well.
I like
it looks okay.
And the thing about the Doctor explaining about the TARDIS and the about the TARDIS can translate other languages to suit her language. And
again, that we know that, but again, it's all made for. Yeah. There was a lot of
reintroducing
exposition, a lot of exposition that we already know. So,
but new viewers wouldn't know.
No, exactly.
It's meant to set up new viewers.
Admittedly, it's got a tough job to do because we already know this, but new people don't. So for us, it's a bit, oh God, here we go again.
I mean, soon everything will stop getting explained because once it's gone into series 2, people will probably stop going to keep going without watching it because it won't get explained all over again. Apart from the new companion, which
possibly. So, but did you enjoy it though, Scott? Did you like it?
Good.
Okay, well, that's the thing. Lots of people liked it. Quite a few people didn't. What I've seen online, it seems to be you're in one camp or the other. There's nothing in between. I didn't hate it. It's just just there.
I'm seeing more hate about it being woke and the series being.
It's not woke. It's not woke at all. There's a lot of political stuff in this story about sort of like, you know, government cutbacks and refugees and things like that. But Doctor Who's always been political. It's always done stuff like that. So to say now it's woke, no, I think that's absolute nonsense, to be honest.
So what would you rate the story?
I would rate it.
Out of 10?
Oh, probably 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go 5, 6 out of 10. Solid story, but it's not the best out there.
No, it's not.
Nah.
It's not.
I mean, it's not as bad as some other stories we've had. I won't mention them in case you like it, but yeah, let's move on to the musical, aka the Devil's Chord. The most scariest villain in the world is about to get introduced. So let's get into it. So now you've just seen that little bit of an intro about the Devil's Chord, the opening title. So let's ask you, what did you think of this musical?
Well, do you know what? I like the concept behind
the plot
it.
Was great.
I like the concept. I like the idea of like if you take good music, because it wasn't all music. It was just that if you take good music away, people have got no way to sort of express themselves, and people find other ways to sort of channel their emotions, and in RTD's mind, it means violence and war, and that's what happens as you see Ruby sees the future. So I like that idea. I don't mind this idea about there being sort of, that's the whole thing about the fantasy element of this series is like the gods and all that. So
yeah, the Toymaker's Legion or army or
and you've got the maestro is one of this pantheon of gods as well.
That controls music, but is an evil music god.
Yeah,
it's not a nice music.
It's not even controlling music; it just denies people music. It feeds off of people's musical ideas from the heart, but music's in the head, not the. But anyway, so I liked that.
I think it means the love of music in your heart.
I think it probably is, but it's also at the beginning she takes it off of that guy from 1925. And it was from his heart, so it was
how much he loves music. And
but it was taking his ideas because he's meant to be like a genius, wasn't he? So, so that was okay.
And what did you think of seeing the cold opening? Because we didn't get one in Space Babies before the titles.
No, we didn't. Well, that's back to how Doctor Who is. You get the cold open, don't you? I'm going to say this right off the bat. Jinx Monsoon. I couldn't, after about 2 minutes, I couldn't say any more of the gurning and playing to the camera.
The villain would work.
Yeah,
it was good way.
It was far too pantomime for me. I didn't find the character.
You love pantomime. We all love.
Yeah, but it suits pantomime. Yeah. We've been to a few pantomimes, and that kind of villain belongs in a pantomime. For me, it doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit Doctor. Well, it does. I mean, you always have over the top villains.
Look at season 24. Look at all of that.
I know, you always get over the top villains. The Master's always been over the top.
In some ways.
Yeah. But I just found it really grating. And lots of people loved it. Everyone saying, "Oh, the Maestro's the best villain ever." Well, no, it's not.
Not to everyone.
No, exactly.
It might be their opinion.
But the thing is, though, it's a lot of knee-jerk reactions. People just watch it. Oh, that was amazing. That's the best thing ever. Then they'll watch it next week. Oh, no, this villain's the best one ever. So it's all noise, really. So
what did you think of the musical element? Because even though the bit about the twist didn't make sense, it was a lot of fun just watching it.
Well, yeah, people you don't know. I don't like musicals.
Which I think you mentioned in the first episode we did.
I think so. Yeah, I really don't like musicals. I don't see the point to them. I just really don't. So I was a bit worried about this one because all the trailers suggested this was going to be a full-on musical episode.
But it's not.
But it wasn't.
Just
No.
a little bit of
But what we got was this song and dance number at the end, which added nothing to the story.
Oh wow! Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why
But
not?
just a bit of fun. But I'd rather than spending that, was it 3.5 minutes? Every
I'd
it went
rather
on
see
for.
the after. I mean, you might if you didn't like musicals. I would say that you would prefer to see the aftermath. Ruby will go back to see if everything's fixed and stuff.
Well, it wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
once they got rid of it, they could hear the music again when they went back on the rooftop of Abbey Road. But yeah, I just thought it was just a pointless thing. I thought it's one of those things. I thought we could do it rather than should we do it, and they just went ahead and did it anyway. Lots of people enjoyed it. I didn't because I just don't like musicals, and it stuck out like a sore thumb to me actually.
There was this comment on another YouTube video about someone that made a Next Time trailer, their custom one for The Devil's Chord, and they said, "I absolutely hate musicals and also refuse to watch them. This ... is amazing." Laughing emoji.
I know. I think that's the thing. People just
Just a bit of fun.
I know exactly. I suppose it fitted the night as well because it was Eurovision night as well in the UK, so that all sort of fed into that as well. But there was some nice bits. I mean, the Doctor talking about Susan and saying, because the year was 1963, he said, "I'll just live over there in Shoreditch right now,"
Which is good, which is sort of...
But again, it's sort of like if you're a new viewer, you've got all this history there as well. I know he's explaining it, but I think
if you're really interested, you'll probably go and research it. I think that's what they trying to say.
Yeah, but there's also the rumours about, well, Susan is going to appear in this season.
I never brought poor Susan back.
I can see what you've got on your iPad there, Scott.
Yeah, so you guys will already see this, but we have got in the story. We've got an appearance of Susan Twist again.
The actress Susan Twist.
Yeah, she was playing one of the people at the cafe in the scene where the Beatles are and they go to talk. And the Doctor and Ruby takes their cup of tea, but they don't actually see her face properly. They take the cup of tea from another person, but she made the tea, and then they turn around and you can see her. So,
okay.
They don't see her, so I don't even know who she is yet. She didn't make.
Well, she's been in every episode so far.
Babies?
Yes, she was. She was one of the people who were signing off, saying, we're shutting down, and we're going to complain. She was the last person, so she was there as well. Now, I don't know if she is an actual actress called Susan Twist. Apparently, she's got an IMDb page. Apparently she's been in a lot of things, but we don't know if that's It could all be a plot. But the whole thing, that's what I said about. They were talking about Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, and saying the twist is Susan is the big bad. Susan Twist. I hope it's not as obvious as that, but that's what people are sort of putting 2 and 2 together, and probably coming up with 5. Who knows?
So, not long after The Devil's Chord, literally, I took a screenshot of this 2 hours ago. The Doctor YouTube channel page uploaded Jenks Monsoon versus British food. And she talks about how she tries British food and she doesn't like a Scotch egg, which I don't like either. Didn't know I don't like.
Well, it's gone down even further in my estimation. I love Scotch eggs.
But she is American. She is American. So
yeah, they're American.
They're American.
Yeah.
So, but also, there's just what else have you got to say?
Well, I like the fact that the Doctor was scared of this god, and he sort of remembered it because she did. The Moss did do the giggle again, the bit of music with the ha 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 like that. He laughed like that, and that's when the Doctor realised what was happening. So he ran away and hid. And I like the bit with the sonic screwdriver when he silenced everything, because you thought for a moment the sound had gone, didn't you?
Yeah. Although I like it now because it says from where it came off, it was December 2023. This story is set in June 2024. So it's been quite a while since they've been travelling, so it's already put up, and that's probably why Ruby says, we never hide. So that's probably why she said that line.
Yeah,
if you have to go back to that.
I'm beginning to wonder whether this wasn't meant to have been shown as episode 2 in the running order. I think it's meant to have been shown a bit later. I think they probably changed it around because it was Eurovision night, and it all just seems fits in with the whole thing that was happening on BBC One that night. So that's what I'm thinking. It just seemed because you also had 2 episodes on the bounce where the Doctor was scared and ran away, which I thought was a bit, and then you said Ruby says we don't run away, So yeah, that was so I like that was good as well. Another bit I did like. Okay, the guys who played the Beatles look nothing like the Beatles, but they spoke like them, didn't sing like them. But what I liked at the end, when the Doctor had played out all the notes, like the anti-chord to get rid of the maestro.
He messes it up.
He messes it up and it goes into the corridor. The piano goes into the corridor.
I saved it. And then...
Well, John Lennon comes along and then Paul McCartney comes along and they played this chord, the final chord to complete it. I don't know if anyone else sort of mentioned it anywhere else, but it certainly sounded like this to my ears anyway. What they played was the final chord from the Beatles song A Day in a Life. Because it ends with that big dung like that, or it goes dung like that, but it goes dung, and it sounds exactly the same. So if that's what they used, brilliant. I think that's really good. I really like that bit actually, because it said it takes a genius to do that. And Paul McCartney, okay, I'm not so big a fan of his solo stuff, but John Lennon and Paul McCartney together were geniuses. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said on this. So yeah, what did you rate?
But again, I just didn't. Okay, Jinx Monsoon was just a bit too much for me. I don't like that kind of
acting.
That kind
like sort of acting.
That acting, yeah. I mean, I know that's probably what they asked Jinx Monsoon to do, was to go over the top and play to the gallery.
And that's not everyone's taste.
It's not my taste.
It's someone else's taste out there.
Yeah.
So,
and as I say, lots of people loved it. I just didn't. But yeah, it was another episode that was sort of kind of there, really.
I hate to say this, but I do prefer this to Space Babies.
It's a better story.
Yeah.
It's a better story than Space Babies, but it's still not great.
Okay,
Still
so
not great.
what would you rate this?
I'll give this another 5 out of 10, actually.
I'd bump it up to a 7. I'm not rating it any higher than 7. That's it.
Fair enough.
That's
You're more
it.
generous than I've been
That's
so
it.
far.
But
the thing is, I don't like being down on Doctor Who, but so far the first 2 episodes I think have been a bit weak.
okay.
Okay.
So let's quickly move on talking about the next time trailer for Boom.
Twist, there's always a twist, there's always a twist at the end. There's always a twist, there's always a twist, there's always a twist at the end. My friend, you can say let's friend, 'cause there's always a twist at the end.
So Boom is written by Stephen Moffat. So I'm glad to see him back. He's a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
He came back really quickly though. But I think Russell T Davies did persuade him quite a lot.
Probably did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this story?
Well, I don't know yet. Don't know anything about
The next time trailer.
Well, all we know is
so
the Doctor stands on a landmine.
And he seems...
There's soldiers on a battlefield. That's all we know at the moment, which is good. Actually, we don't know anything else other than that.
Doctor Who Unleashed, they revealed the clip, and it shows a warrior and this like a machine thing come up to him, and it's Susan Twist in the machine.
Well, spoilers for anyone who didn't see the
Yeah,
next time
so
trailer. Yeah.
I'm just going to show you the picture. It will be up on the screen.
Oh yeah, okay.
But,
I know. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, but.
So and it's also revealed that there's a kid in it called Splice,
Oh right. Okay.
and I think that's her father because she was on the phone to it in a sneak peek.
I've got no idea.
I'm not going to go any further about that.
Yeah,
but,
all we know for this episode, I think, as we understand it, the Doctor's trapped on a landmine. However, it could be nothing like that at all, because we all thought, a lot of people, myself included, thought The Devil's Call was going to be a full-on musical, and it wasn't. So, who knows?
Yes, so...
We'll have to wait till next Saturday.
Before we move on any further, would you like to do any more with us here?
Today? No, I think I've said everything I want to say.
Any more podcasts on this in the future?
What podcast?
To come back for Boom for this.
Oh yes, I'll come back
Would you
for
like to
Boo.
come
I'll come back
back?
for Boo.
We're
Yes.
going to lock him in a wardrobe. Comment down below if you want to see him in a wardrobe. We can just open him up wherever we need him. So that's basically everything.
Okay.
I don't think we'll be on holiday for Dot and Bubble. Which
think
is the
so,
fifth
yeah.
story. Because we'll be here next week, and we'll be here the week after, very shortly. Which is 73 yards. So we won't be here for Dot and Bubble, but we'll try and get a podcast out as quickly as possible.
We will, indeed.
We will.
Okay.
So, thank you for watching today's podcast, or if you've just listened to it while doing an activity. I hope you enjoyed listening. So,
Yes, hope you enjoyed me moaning about Doctor Who.
Okay, so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.